that part of your studies and survey results as well was that a large part of the Filipinos think that ang mastermind doon sa flood control is either Marcos Romualdez Co. Pero ma'am, di ba si Presidente ang nagsiwalat in the first place? Mahiya naman kayo. He started it all. Eh bakit ngayon lumalabas? I don't think it's logical for any person to do that to himself.
Yeah, my sense is when he said mahiya naman kayo, there wasn't really a program defined what mahiya kayo is. But because of the reaction of people, they needed to put together the 15 top contractors. So, sinala nila yun, di ba? And they needed to look for examples. Bulacan was one, and Mindoro care of Senator Lacson. So kung tinignan mo yung privilege speech ni Senator Lacson at that time, vis-a-vis today, ibang-iba na. So, and then, there was no mention of Ilocos Norte. So, balwarte ng Pangulo, di dapat unahin mo ang Ilocos Norte or ang Leyte. Ngayon, yan naman ngayon ang role ni Manong Chavez na sinasabi niya, lahat those projects yan sa Ilocos Norte, pinuntahan ko yan isa-isa. So, when you are confronted with this, you have military training. And really, the PSYOPs is tremendous. Sino ang paniniwalaan mo? Pero when you're confronted with Surigao del Sur, the district of Congressman Momo, where his constituents filed a case before the ombudsman with all the evidence. Magugulat ka, ang tapang naman mo ng loob nyo. Ay kasama niya ang simbahan. So sabi ng babaeng lawyer, ma'am, kailangan namin itong gawin kasi tahimik siya. So ang challenge na yun na nangyayari sa bawat distrito, kunan nyo ang proyekto ng congressman nyo. At kung sa tingin nyo nanloko, mag-file. Ang problema natatakot kasi nakita mo naman, si General Toquis pinasasay, si Colonel Mangkao na nagsalita lamang, wala naman siyang direct sinasabing baliw. Kaya napakaingat ang mga tao, pero again, babalik ka dun sa ano ba ang exit plan mo kung linunch mo ang mahiya naman kayo. Sa tingin ko yun ang problema Kasi hindi niya alam yung end goal.
So you're saying, Professor, it was not well?
Yes. Parang kailangan, I needed to say something in the zona. Kasi previous to that, siya rin na nagsabi 5,500 ang tapos na.
Proudly diba? Saying that this was the...
Tapos biglang umulan. Lahat sa Metro Manila, nagalit. Ano nangyari sa 5,500? I mean, in this day and age of heated media, you really have to be factual. And if you don't have the facts, madali kang pasulong sa media.
Ikaw, Martin, now that you have published these results, you have given media some food for thought for the next few weeks. What do you think these numbers will support in terms of the political narratives in the next few days?
Possibly to 2028. If I can project our last slide. Now, tinanong po namin, kung sakaling matanggal sa posisyon si Vice President Sara Duterte, and dito, nagulat din ako sa data. Over 50%, 51% to be exact, majority mention si Pangulong Marcos should select and appoint the former Vice President as the successor. And this is driven by not only those who supported VP Lenny last 2022, but even the Marcos supporters. Those who voted for President Marcos last 2022. So yun po yung lumalabas dito. And may mga surveys din po kami about, I mentioned All Roads Lead to 2028. We have some commissioned and non-commissioned surveys for President and Vice President for 2028. May mga hypothetical scenario din po kami. So one of the scenarios that we tested ay if the President endorses the former Vice President, that's the only scenario during that time that the current Vice President, si Sara Duterte, can be, I guess, taken down sa 2028 in terms of voter preference. If hindi supported si Vice President Leni Robredo ng administration, in terms of voter preference, doble po ang lamang ni Vice President Sara. But if the former Vice President or anyone from the, can't use the word opposition, but if anyone is supported by the current President, specifically po si Vice President Leni, may chance po matalo si Bibi Sara. That's the only scenario po na nakita po namin.
Okay. Having studied this profession, Malu, what do you think of that possibility naman? If the survey says that over 50% say that if President Marcos would
Choose successor. If sakaling matuloy po ang
mangyayari po ba yan?
Hindi eh.
Hindi.
Yung scenario na yan, outside of the Constitution, which means extra-constitutional. Kasi yung caretaker, yung konsepto ng caretaker, extra-constitutional yan. So for the President to pick outside of the succession, is also extra-constitutional.
It will never happen. Even though mukhang the public wants it, but it will never happen.
Yes, you will have, you should be able to put together that extra constitutional vehicle, which means declaring everything as unconstitutional.
Okay, let's open the floor for questions, please. We have a few more minutes. I apologize that we started late. Anyone, please go ahead.
Good morning po, Cathy Cruz from DZXL, ang ating katipunan every Sunday, and tuklasin natin dahil. Siguro pwede rin magsagot dito si Mamalu. But basically, ang question ko goes to Sir Martin. Sir Martin, I'm just wondering kasi, parehas na gusto silang i-impeach ng base sa survey. Pero ang question ko lang, ano ba ang nag-trigger dito? Is it dahil nahihirapan na ang taong bayan, gutom ba ang taong bayan, kung bakit hindi maganda o pupunta na ang taong bayan sa impeachment pag makatanggal sa kanila?
Thank you, Ma'am Cathy, for that question. Yung gaya po sabi ko po kanina, nung ginawa po namin yung survey last week, wala pa po yung grounds for impeachment. So it's in general po. And nakikita po talaga namin dito, well, there's an effect of the flood control concern issues late last year and even now. But it's really more of, kung titingnan po natin yung drivers po na impeachment for both top leaders po natin, it's really more of the failure to deliver what was promised. Again, as I mentioned po kanina, it's not based on any grounds of impeachment kasi ginawa po namin yan, hindi pa po nag-file ng impeachment against our president. So it's really more in general. And kung titingnan po natin ng data, it's the failure to deliver what he promised to us. So ibig sabihin po nito, gaya po na nakita po namin sa trust and satisfaction survey, mababa po ang satisfaction and mataas ang dissatisfaction ng publiko po namin.
Pero dun sa survey ninyo, Sir Martin, bakit po itong sila Ramon pumapasok sa eksena? Bakit po tila mas pinagkakatiwalaan para nila ito kaysa dun sa yung successor base sa konstitusyon natin? Ibig sabihin, wala silang tiwala dun sa susunod na successor just in case.
Magandang question po yan, Ma'am Cathy. Nung tinanong po namin yun, of course, nakalahat din naman, nandito po yung gumawa ng aming questionnaire, nakalahat din naman po doon na may, gaya po na sabi ni Professor Madu and the Attorney Sisol, ay meron po talagang succession po sa bansa. But what if tinanggal po yan? Sino ang gusto nyong maging caretaker? Kasi lumabas po yung concept ng caretaker before eh. But of course, we need to follow the Constitution. But nilagay po namin yun sa caveat. At lumabas ang open-ended, si BP Leni po ang napipili po nila. If lumabas, worst comes to worst, nagkaroon ng caretaker po ang bansa. So siya po yung lumalabas. And yung natanong niyo po yung trust and satisfaction rating po ng ating Senate President, wala pa po siya sa majority ng Pilipinas. We ran a survey last week ng December, wala pa po siya sa majority. And mababa din po, of course mababa pa din ang awareness ni Speaker T. Mababa din po ang satisfaction and trust for the current speaker. So that's why they chose and opted for people that they know that can deliver. So doon po pumasok yung pangalan ni VP Lenny at ni Boss RSA and even si Boss MDB po ng PLDT.
Kay Mamalu. Mamalu, medyo marami pong issues ng taong bayan sa kahirapan. Patuloy yung pagtaas na bilihin, mga public utilities, kuryente, tubig. Medyo konti na lang yung para bang ang dami ng rason kung bakit makikita natin sa social media and even sa public kwentuhan sa baba na hindi walang mga politiko. Parang talagang unsatisfied ng tao sa current administration. Pero bakit nananatili pa rin na nandyan? Meron bang may humahawak ba outside force kung bakit nandyan pa sila? And bakit po nananatili na tahimik at tila nakakapit pa rin yung armed forces natin despite yung ating mga retired and even active, some of them or most of them, tahimik lang pero nakamatsyag. So medyo ako po personally naaalarma po ako pero ang nakikita ko po dito parang ang taong bayan nag-aantay din. Nag-aantay din and hindi katulad dati, sugod lang ng sugod. Remember yung PDAF? Ang dami-daming nagpunta dun sa rally sa Luneta. Ngayon, marami pero hindi makatapang. At parang nag-iintay, merong iniintay na hindi ko alam kung ano. Pero very obvious na yung hindi na satisfied sa nangyayari sa sitwasyon. Ang nakakatakot dito, baka magkaroon ng disobedience ng citizen. So, ano po yung nakikita nyo, vision nyo sa hinaharap natin if we will stay like this?
Well, ako naniniwala yung template ng EDSA 1, EDSA 2, napakahirap ma-achieve today. Bakit? Dahil sa social media. Ang tao ayaw lumabas, ayaw magmarcha, gusto manood. At readily, live stream. Pero pag tinignan mo ang bawat post, galit. No? Yung galit ng tao is, na-measure namin yan dun sa fourth quarter, nasa 68%. Galit sila. Bakit sila galit? Dahil wala silang, they cannot depend on any politician. So, it's a total lumping everyone to kayo corrupt. Kaya sinasabi ko dun sa mga politiko, kailangan ng bagong campaign architecture kasi kung tumayo kayo sa entablado at sinabi niyo hindi ako corrupt, aalis ang tao. Kasi by now, pag sinabi mong ayaw mo politician, equivalent to corruption. Yun ang napakahirap. Pangalawa, makikita mo naman walang ginagawa sa House of Representatives. Sino lang yung tumatayo? Yung first termer na neophyte na hindi nag-benefit dun sa sistema. So nakita naman natin kung anong ginawa kay Kiko Barsaga, nakita natin yung ginagawang demolition kay Leandro Leviste, parang yung dalawa lamang, at saka siguro yung si Congressman Eli ng Manggagawa, ang nakikita mong consistently, meron si Congressman Unga, consistently sa budget, no? Si Arice tumatayo. Pero ilan lang. Mabibilang mo sa dalawang mong kamay. So kung ikaw ang botante, ang sasabihin mo, sandali, magtatrabaho na muna ako para meron akong pampakain sa pamilya ko. Tsaka na muna kayo. Wala naman akong maasahan sa inyo. Pagkatapos nakita natin sa GAA 2026, ang AIX at ang MAIP lumaki. Di ba? So, anong gagawin dyan? Sino ang bibigyan na naman? So that is a big question. Pag naghanap ka ng katulong these days, sasabihin sa'yo, kasambahay, sasabihin these days, magkano ang sweldo? Kasi mas malaki pa ang matatanggap mo sa ayuda kisa magtrabaho ka. So we're creating a generation of lazy individuals because of this ayuda. So marami tayong systemic ang problema. So nakikita ko ang taong bayan, parang bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Kayo naman ang nag-corrupt. Ibalik niyo yung pera namin. Ganun yung mga ang nakakatuwa dahil pinag-uusapan. Ako doon na lang eh. Nung Pasko, siguro, ang usapan sa table, ano ba naman yan? Si ganito, corrupt, ito na ang nakita, ito ang kinita. So, kung dati, na-mention mo yung PDAP, nasa milyon, tayo bilyon at trilyon. Yung 3 years is 1.5 trillion. So, mag-iisip ka, sana na-build better more, di ba? Sana natuloy, kasi ang sabi, suportahan niyo yung unity, may continuity. Kaya nga sabi ko, nabutol tayo sa unity, nabutol tayo sa continuity. Saan pa tayo mabubutol? Di ba? So, ang taong bayan, parang ang feeling nila, ayaw na namin sa inyo. Sa tingin ko, naghihintay ng bagong mukha. Naghihintay ng matapang na kayang bumangga. Kasi tingnan nyo, pag in-analyze nyo si Kiko Barsaga at saka si Leandro Leviste, they won July, proclaimed July. They hit national consciousness October, November, in 5 months. A congressman has never done that. In 5 months, you are now in the national consciousness of voters. So, ergo, pag sinabing Pasig, uy, sana si Vico tumakbo. So makikita mo, naghahanap sila ng bagong mukha, ng bata. Kaya kailangang tandaan ng mga politikong tatakbo. Ang Gen Z is 60% of the total registered voters. So definitely in 2028, we will see new faces. Kung dynastic man yan, new faces. Diba? So napakahalagang tingnan siguro sa media yung pulso ng bayan. Kasi pwedeng tahimik, pero on their own, gumagalaw.
Last note na lang, ma'am. Last question. I don't know if you're aware of yung libro ni George Orwell, yung 1984. Is it happening right now?
Yes. That one is happening. Meron pang isa yung Animal Farm.
Yes.
So it's funny. You have to reread
It's a
it.
very good, especially to the media.